Hey everybody, I want to talk right now to you about money. So I'm Joe Bernstein. If you don't know me, I'm a coach. I spend my life helping people and learning the different ways that we get held up, the ways that we thrive, and I apply it in everything I do in my own life and with my work with my coaching clients. So I want to tell you a little story. Actually, you know what? Let me back up. Before I tell you the story, I want to tell you the problem that I see, right? So what I see is I see guys especially, both men and women, but people especially in their late 20s, early to mid 30s, who think that they should have been promoted by now. They think they should be making more money by now. And it's just not happening for them. So I want to tell you a little story. So I was a guy who was working for over a decade in a retail management career. I loved it, but eventually I didn't love the lifestyle, and it felt out of alignment with what I really wanted to do in this life. So I had to make a leap. And in this experience of making a leap, I started to learn what my value was and recognize my value. And I got myself in a position where when I left my company, when I left my store, I negotiated to work part-time, to create my own schedule, and to get paid at a rate that was significantly higher than if you broke down my salary. Now, that was something I didn't think was possible even months prior, until I learned the skill of how to do that. And I changed my mindset about who I was. Now, additionally, then I decided to go out and create my own career where I'm asking my clients to pay me a lot more than I ever got paid hourly, tons more than I ever got paid hourly as a retail store manager for work that I love doing 10 times more. So here's a little advice I want to give right now. When it comes to money, there's a few things that we need to know. If you're in the position of thinking that you should be making more by now, that you should be promoted by now, then you have to go back and recognize the reality. If that's not happening, then it's your responsibility to figure out what to do next, what to have happen. One of two things happen. Either we overestimate our value in the workplace, or we don't know how to speak around our value. We don't know how to share our value. The people around us don't see it because no one's going to see it until you learn to communicate it powerfully. So a couple of tips that I have right now. Figure out really what type of value, and this doesn't have to be monetary, but what type of value you bring to your current workplace. Make sure that you take time to write it down. Go through and create like a resume from within your company. Look at tangible results. Look at team communication. Look at ideas that you bring to the table and recognize what it is that you deliver. And think about what position the company would be in if you weren't giving that value. So first things first, make that list. Make that new resume and paint a positive light of anything that you were kind of iffy on. You thought maybe it didn't bring value. The next thing to do is to start to position yourself as an authority. So you have to figure out what is it about me that is unique and different, and what's the value that I bring? And then it's your turn to start to talk about that, to find ways to communicate that without being cocky, without being a jerk, without being too confident, right? Finding ways to interject that into conversation at your work. After you've figured out what your value is, after you've figured out what your best skills are that are unique, that you bring to the table, and you start to communicate it, sooner rather than later, you'll be in a position to negotiate for more money. I have a client right now who's negotiating with his current employer and another employer, and he's probably going to make about $40,000 or $50,000 more, and we'll know by the end of the week. But because I'm working on this, I see so many guys struggling with this, and gals too, around my age, I wanted to communicate it, and I hope this is helpful. If you dig what I'm talking about when it comes to money and value and how to represent who we are and speak it to the world and get what we're worth, then I want you to reach out to me and we can have a conversation. You can PM me, you can email me. Links will be in the notes. Peace. Make the money that you're worth, but make sure you're worth it before you ask for it. I'm out.